Good afternoon to you, Nathan, and a 1-0 victory over Barnet this afternoon here at a very sunny Hive. Your thoughts on that performance and the result?
I'm delighted with the result. Obviously, at this stage of the season, performance-wise, we were nowhere near, and to be fair, we were a little bit fortunate, in terms of Barnet probably had best chances. We had a glorious one first half with Isaac Cassell and a few good opportunities, but they had good opportunities, and as I said, we were nowhere near it in terms of our performance. But all I said to him was get the first goal, keep a clean sheet, and win the game, and that's what we did. And look, I'm proud of them because they gave me everything. We need a little bit more know-how, a little bit more sort of guile, but pitch was very difficult in terms of purely dry. They've raised the game. That's the best they've played for a while. I've watched a lot of their games, so they raise the game when they're playing against us. But look, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted with the win. It puts us in a great position. It's just performance-wise, if I want to be critical, I could, but I'd rather win and play badly at this point of the season than play brilliant and lose.
The first half particularly seemed to have a lot of possession with not too many good chances, as you said, but then Barnet had one or two very good chances, didn't they, and kept at bay. Yeah, and look, I could be really critical of my players if I wanted to, because it's not from anything ingenious. It was basically ball over the top that Akindi does, that he scores a shed load of goals from, that we showed them, that I said about it yesterday, and probably the last thing I said to my centre-halves. But when we're in possession, that's when the Kindy's at its most dangerous. But they don't seem to stand. That's why we have to have a little bit more, a little bit cuter about us. But look, all about the result. We've won a game, and I'm delighted with that. A vital save for Stuart Moore in the injury time of the first half there. Kindy, you've spoken about there, the ball over the top. He got the better of Scott Cuthbert, and Moore is there to deny him, and that'll do the keeper a load of confidence after having a fairly quiet 45 minutes because those in front of him stopped everything.
What he had to do, he did very well. If we had to critical, his kicking could have been a little bit better at times second half, the crucial moments. But in terms of his performance, I thought he was excellent. We got one real good save, and fair, and then obviously a big thing has to go to Ollie Lee, who showed a lot of character, and I'm proud of him, to be fair. A lot of character after I didn't actually hear it, but what happened a couple of weeks ago, and I said we're in a different place, he's in a different place, and I'm proud of him for that as well.
I'll come back to Ollie and the decisive goal in a moment, but just keeping on the goalkeeper situation, of course, obviously things happening this week with Matt Macy being recalled, and you had the decision, you brought back Craig King, obviously required in the squad, but a tough choice between the two keepers, with Craig having played more football recently, or not really for Stuart?
Yeah, it was, but we brought Stuart Moore into play. Then we had an opportunity to obviously bring in Matt Macy as well, and he settled quicker than Stuart. But Stuart's first debut, it was a difficult game. He had to come in with a couple of hours' notice, stayed at the hotel, he had to come quickly to a thing. He dropped a corner which they scored from, but he's a good keeper. We know he's a good keeper, and that's why we recruited him. And to be fair, every keeper that's come here, we've enhanced their reputation, and Stuart Moore's enhanced his today.
And two players that needed that today. Stuart with a fine goalkeeper performance, and then you've mentioned him already, Ollie Lee. Complete contrast to the song that was sung at Colchester. They've changed the lyrics because he scored the goal that's won you the game, and the fans were delighted with that, and perhaps Ollie would particularly a one-up to them, that those that perhaps didn't want him in the team in recent weeks.
Well, yeah, but praise the Lord, I picked the team, so I don't think I've got shed load wrong, but we've all had it. I had it when I was at Yeovil. I give Yeovil 7 years of my life. I dedicated 10, 12, 14 hours every day when I was playing. I dedicated my life to it. Didn't stop the fans telling me to retire a year earlier. So you've got to come through that. Now he's still a young lad, and he'd be very fortunate if he doesn't have that again in his career. But shown a real strength of character to do that. I know what he can do. I know why he's in the side. I know why we keep him at the club. He's a wonderful technician. We've tried to change the philosophy. He's vital, but he's an excellent technician, and when he gets his opportunities, he didn't lash at it like a load of other people today have lashed the chances. He showed the only bit of real composure and quality on the pitch today. He scored a wonderful goal, and I'm pleased for him.
And it was great build-up play in it, wasn't it, as well, with Danny Hilton making a good run into the box. And I think it was the second attempt Ollie had, the first one blocked, and he came back to him, as he said, he took it calmly and beat the keeper.
No, look, big Ollie Palmer came on as well, and it was a bit of a threat, and Danny's constantly in and around it. That's why I could have taken Danny off, because he wasn't as productive as he normally is, but he always in and around it, he always he's always on the front foot, and then Ollie backed up play wonderfully well, and a wonderful finish, So look, we're very pleased for him, and as I said, the 3 points is huge today, especially considering other results.
You mentioned Ollie Palmer coming off the bench. Of course, Luke Gambin also against his former side. Was there any thoughts of bringing him in, knowing that his performance of late and being away with international duty as well?
No, look, after last week, they were excellent last week. You know, the performance, after having watched it back as well, we were excellent, and it could have been a greater margin in terms of our win last week. So I didn't really want to change too much. Obviously, we were enforced with the keeper, but they deserved their chance. And I said we had to change shape because we weren't really getting the grips. We weren't on the front foot. Maybe it was a hot day and so on. But second clean sheet on the spin, second 1-0 win, and I'll take that all day.
And you've talked about results elsewhere going our way. It does open up the gap below, but also the gap above is 8 points with 15 to play for. Stranger things have happened in football. You can't quite give up on that top three.
No, we won't give up. It's a difficult thing. You know, you'd rather be in postman position than you would in ours, and it's theirs to lose. But all we can do is concentrate on our games and keep winning and keep trying to win. You know, we went through a really sticky spell, which meant that others can open up a gap for us. But we've shown real character and we've gone back to basics. We've been less fluent today, especially. But we've ground out 2 wins, and this not be. We came here last year, and this time last year, I was sick. I was physically sick after the manner of the performance and how we played, and then to lose the game in the manner that we did. I was physically sick. But this year was totally different. It wasn't, and we were better last year. All-round performance. It's just we never kept the clean sheet, give it away in the 96th minute. Today was a different story, and as I said, we got the win.
It's fair to say there were at times though when I was a little concerned about your health with the frustration you were showing on the touchline with some of the wayward balls and the possession lost and the needless free kicks given away.
Look, we're at that stage of the season where things happen and nerves get in and so on, and some of the things that happen you're thinking, hang on, we never do that. But it's that kind of year, and it's who keeps their nerve more. And as I said, we showed probably the biggest bit of quality on the pitch in the day. So praise the Lord for that. And as I said, it wasn't nerve-wracking. I mean, my heart is in all sorts of bother. It really is. But you know, that's why I get up at 6 in the morning and run, because I hopefully stay alive that way.
And just a word on the conditions today. You mentioned the pitch, but we're stood here still in glorious sunshine. It's 20 odd degrees in April. I mean, again, that's a factor to a match like this and a performance, isn't it? That you don't expect this time of year.
No, you don't. And as I said, the tempo of ours was down in terms of how we wanted to really press. We couldn't press as high as we wanted. We couldn't really get after them because we didn't. You know, it was a hot day. It wasn't as fluid. It wasn't as slick. But we're just delighted with the win, and we've ground it out. And that's what you've got to do at this point. There's no good playing well and not picking up points, because not many look at your performances. You know, it's all about wins, and that's what we've got to do.
And now it's a focus on a busy Easter weekend ahead with 2 games in 4 days, and perhaps changing the way things are in training because of a Friday and a Monday fixture away from
we look
Saturday,
after them. I mean, to be fair, they can't have any lighter days than we're giving them at the minute. You know, it sounds like holiday camp. But no, you know, we look after them well in how we do, and sports science and everything we do has a structure to it. So it'll be a nice relaxing week this week, and we'll sharpen things up as we go to Wednesday and Thursday, and then Fridays is a massive game on, you know, starting off Easter weekend, one that we need to continue this momentum and need to try and win the game, and then anything can happen because it's 2 days rest and then we're back into another mammoth game. So look, we're in good shape at the minute, so we've got to try and make sure we continue that.
Great, thank you very much for your time, Nathan. Cheers.